back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome to another These Books Will Self-Destruct in 12 Months video. That title is always a tough one for me to get out, but the idea of the video is I have 10 books that I have on this list that if I don't read in the next 12 months, I will have to unhaul them. I have not been very good at keeping up with my last self-destruct video, but eventually I will film a reaction to that and see how well I did. For the most part, I think that I have either read or unhauled most of the books in this, so I felt comfortable doing another installment of this video. And since my reading tastes have changed a little bit, I have also kind of altered the books that are on this list with the idea that I either won't get to most of these, or if I do get to them, I probably will unhaul them anyways. I'm really trying to clear out my shelves and get to books that I don't think that I will keep, so I can make room for other books that I do really want to read and have on my shelves for a long amount of time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I don't really have these separated in any particular order. Honestly, they're just in height order because it was easier for me to stack them that way. So the first one that I have here is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. This is a book that I added to my TBR when I was going through therapy, and my therapist really recommended it to me. I'm not saying that I don't think that it is still a great recommendation, but I've had it now on my shelves for over a year and haven't been compelled to pick it up. So I'm hoping this will give me the push that I need to get to this one and hopefully really enjoy it. Basically, the whole point of this book is how the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. So this is definitely a book that I am intrigued by and I want to get to. I've heard really good things about Brené Brown and her writing, so I'm curious to see what I think of this one, but if I don't get to it in 12 months, it's gotta go. Up next, we have Homegoing by Ya Gassi. This is a book that I don't really know anything about, but because I've heard so many good things about the author, I picked it up used at the bookstore while I had the opportunity. However, of the two books that I own by her, which are Homegoing and Transcendent Kingdom, I feel like I would be more inclined to pick up Transcendent Kingdom than I would Homegoing, but I've heard such good things about both that I don't want to just give up on them entirely. So I'm hoping that I can get to this one and then eventually get to Transcendent Kingdom, knowing that I probably will enjoy that one more than this one. However, I still need the push, so that is why it's on this list. We have another nonfiction that was recommended to me by my therapist at the time, and that is 10% Happier: How I Tamed the Voice in My Head, Reduced Stress Without Losing My Edge, and Found Self-Help That Actually Works, a true story by Dan Harris. I have heard really good things about this book actually before it was recommended to me, so I figured I would pick it up. I got it used at the bookstore and still haven't read it. So again, the same thing goes for the one that I just talked about. I would really like to get to these ones and I need the extra push, so I added it to the list and hopefully I will end up reading them. Up next, we have Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. I had this on a TBR and I picked it up via audiobook and I read like the first 3 minutes and I was like, I don't know if I want to read this. And I don't know if it was just because I was not in the right mood for it or if it was the actual writing itself, but I didn't give it much of a chance. I just turned on the audiobook and I was like, whoa, hold on, stop. So I want to give this one a second chance. I want it to have the opportunity to thrive, but I don't really know if it was the fault of the book or the fault of my own reading mood. So it's on this list. I don't really know too much about it, actually. I read the synopsis a little while ago and I thought that it was very strange and weird, but I've heard really good things about Rivers Solomon as an author and I want to give them a go. So hopefully I can get to this one and really enjoy it, but we shall see. Then we have Fable by Adrienne Young, and the reason this is on this list is because I've had it on my TBR for 2 years and I still haven't read it. I picked it up because I absolutely loved the cover and I am really drawn to books that have redheaded females on the cover. I don't really know why that is. It just always compels me to want to pick them up, so this is the case for this one. I have heard mixed reviews about these particular books and the rest of the series, so I think that's why I have waited so long to pick it up, and now that it's been 2 years, my interest is kind of waning, as well as my interest in YA fantasy in general, so I'm hoping that this will give me the extra push that I need to pick it up. I've heard really good things about it. It is a nautical fantasy about a girl who wants to be a pirate, but her dad left her on an island with no way of escaping to, figure out her life. And if she can get back to him, then there were promises made. But I don't really know too much more than that. I've heard good things, but I've also heard some negative reviews as well. So I'm hoping that I can get to this one and love it, but I'm wary now. The same goes for Emperor of Night by Molly E. Lee. I've had this one on my TBR for far too long. I picked it up on a whim at Target one day because I liked the cover and the synopsis, and I have still yet to be compelled to put it on a TBR and read it. I think it might have been on a TBR once or twice, but that was only because of the circumstance of the prompt, not really because I really wanted to read it. So I'm hoping that I will get the motivation to pick this one back up. It does sound really good, and I know that the sequel has come out as well, and it looks amazing, but I just haven't picked up the first book, and I really need to. Again, like I said, I'm kind of outside of my fantasy era, especially YA fantasy, so I really need some extra motivation to pick up these books, and this is no exception. Then we have Girls with Sharp Sticks by Suzanne Young. I picked this one up used at the bookstore a long time ago. It has been on my TBR for at least 2 years, and I have not had a single inclination to pick this up, but for some reason, every time I do an unhaul, it keeps being saved, and I don't really know why. So I'm putting it on this list with the hopes that I will pick it up in 12 months, and if I don't, it's got to go. I don't know a single thing about this synopsis. I literally haven't, I don't think I've ever read the synopsis, so I don't know why I keep being compelled to save it, but here it is. It says, some of the prettiest flowers have the sharpest thorns. The girls of Innovation Academy are beautiful and well behaved. It says so on their report cards. Under the watchful gaze of their guardian, they receive a well-rounded education that promises to make them better. Obedient girls, free from arrogance and defiance, free from the troublesome opinions of individual interests. But the girls' carefully controlled existence may not be quite what it appears. I don't know what's happening with the synopsis. I don't really know what's happening with this book. I have heard good reviews about this one in particular, but I'm scared. Then we have a book that has been on many a TBR, and I still have not read it. And I keep keeping it because we use this prompt in Season-a-thon quite a bit, and I don't have very many books that fit for this prompt, but I still never seem to get it actually read. And that is A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Mamie. I did pick this one up on a whim at Target, I believed, because I would liked the cover, and I liked the fact that it was set in England, but I have yet to read it. YA contemporary is not really my go-to reading taste anymore, so I feel like that has a big thing to do with it. However, when it was the books that I was going to, the ones that I was gravitating towards, I still never picked it up. This one follows a girl who is really struggling with mental health, and her family end up sending her to England in order to have some time to recuperate, and she ends up meeting someone there that she has a relationship with. I've heard good things, but again, I haven't read it, and I'm telling you, it's probably been on at least 4 TBRs, and I still haven't picked it up. So I don't know what that's saying about me or this book, but it has 12 months or else it's gotta go. The second to last book that we're going to talk about is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I have read Home Before Dark by this author in the past, and I enjoyed it. However, that being said, I have yet to pick up another one of his books, and mystery and thrillers are books that I do not get gravitated towards often, if at all really, so I feel like if there's going to be a reason for me to pick it up, it's because I'm putting it on a list like this, and hopefully I will enjoy it. I've heard good things about this particular book, and in regards to his backlist, not all of them are getting great reviews, but I've heard good things about this one. I don't really remember the synopsis, and I like to go into my mystery thrillers kind of blind anyway, so that's fine by me, but I do need to read it soon because it's been on my TBR for far too long, and I need to know if I will like more Riley Sager books in the future and if I should continue to read his books, because this is definitely going to be the deciding factor for me. And the last and final book is also another mystery, and that is The Shadows by Alex North. I picked this one up knowing that his other book, The Whisper Man, had gotten better reviews, but this one was used at the bookstore and I had picked it up at the time, and it's probably been a year and a half, maybe 2, since it's been on my TBR, and I have forgotten that I even owned it. So, but I do want to give him a try. I've heard good things. I've heard this one is really eerie and creepy, so I want to give it a go and see if I really do enjoy it, but I don't have extremely high hopes. I don't know anything about this. Again, I like to go in blind to mystery thrillers, so hopefully I will like this one, but again, I haven't been gravitated towards it. I forgot I even owned it, so in 12 months, if it's not read, it's gotta go, but hopefully I get to this one before that time. Okay, here are the 10 books that will self-destruct in 12 months if I don't get to them. Hopefully I get to some of these and really enjoy them. There are a few on here that I would really love to read, and others that, I wouldn't be sad if they left my home, but I would like to try to get to them before then. If you have read any of these books and you think that they're worthwhile, feel free to let me know, but also if you think that I'm wasting my time with any of these, let me know as well. I would love to hear your thoughts, and let me know if you also have a list like this and which of those books that you are looking forward to the most. But that is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and of course leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Baby, turn it down like a sweet and ready.